Hey, welcome back to my channel, Notes by LaRue. I am yours truly, Deidre LaRue, and here I strive to bring you motivation, encouragement, and hope, one note at a time. If you are new to my channel and would like to become one of my beloved note takers, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you do not miss any of my uploads. Now that the rules are out of the way, grab a pen and a pad and prepare to take some notes because class is officially in session. Y'all like my red? A red dress, my hint of red, and my brooch, my earrings, my nails, and of course, my beloved red lipstick. Let's get to business. I have all this red today for a reason. At the age of 14, I know you all probably saying, "Good, a lot of mess happened to the age of 14," but honestly, a lot of shit did happen to me at the age of 14. But at the age of 14, one of our quote unquote family friends told me that I could not wear red lipstick. And the reason being is because she said that I was too dark, too black, and too ugly to wear red lipstick. Yes, this is an adult telling a 14-year-old child, by the way, that they are too dark, too black, and too ugly to wear red lipstick. And to be perfectly honest, I believe this woman. I believe that I could not wear red lipstick based upon her opinion of me. And you have to understand, I'm 14. I'm young. I'm impressionable. I am a people pleaser. I want to be accepted. So, hey, whatever they say do, I did it. And unfortunately, I hate that I did do that because it cost me a lot of heartache and pain. It made me not appreciate the young lady that I was at the time, and even the woman that I grew to be once I became an adult. I never forget, I was at home sitting in the living room, and I had on this red lipstick that I had gotten from like Family Dollar or something. It's probably like $1, and I was trying it on, and I was just like, man, red is such a powerful color. It looked so good on me. At least I thought it looked good on me. And when I wore that lipstick, it was just like nobody couldn't tell me shit. Period. I was a boss lady. I was a boss lady back then, even though I ain't had no damn money, and I'm a boss lady now. But I just felt so empowered when I wore that red lipstick. Then all of a sudden, family friend comes over, and she looks at me and she said, "Girl, what you doing with that red lipstick on?" And when she expressed it that way, I'm thinking she better say, "Girl, you so pretty, you so cute," or something. She's like, "Girl, what you doing with that red lipstick on? You can't wear that. You too dark, you too black, you too ugly to wear that red lipstick. Black folk cannot wear red lipstick." And she was not talking about black people as a race. She was talking about black people, my shade, my flavor, as I love to say, could not wear red lipstick. When I tell you, when that lady told me that, it just felt like a ton of bricks fell on me. And I was like, oh my God, what the hell was I thinking? Putting on this lipstick. And I can remember crying and crying and crying and crying. But the one thing that really hurt me the most is that I had family members that were present and none of them took up for me. None of them. They didn't say, "Oh, no, you got to go," or, "Hey, no, she looks good." Nobody came to my defense. And then it led me to wonder, do they feel the same way too? Are they thinking the same thing that she's thinking? Because if they had any adverse reaction or feelings to what she was saying, then surely they would have piped up and stepped up. Not the case. So, believe it or not, that was at the age of 14. I did not wear red lipstick again until I turned 24. Yes, a whole 10 years later. I was not brave enough to wear red lipstick again. And the only reason why I wore it then was, I remember I was working on my master's degree and I was in my internship class. And one of my classmates said to me, "Oh my God, Dee," she said, "Girl, you look so pretty with Ruby Woo." And I'm like, okay, what is that? And she was like, "Ruby Woo, a lipstick by the brand MAC." And I'm like, never heard of MAC. You got to understand, poor girl coming up. Only thing I knew was Family Dollar, Dollar General, Dollar Tree. So if it was not in the dollar range or had the dollar behind the logo, I knew nothing about it. Because again, somebody that's living below poverty line, I don't know about any of this stuff. So I said to her, never heard of it. And she looked at me like I was funny. And she had this look on her face like, "You got to be kidding me." And I'm like, "Nope, not kidding you, never heard of it." So she says, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna bring you that lipstick. And she was like, it's a costly lipstick, but I want you to have that lipstick because, girl, your skin color is so pretty. And that would look so good on you. So immediately when she says your skin color is so pretty, I sat back, raised the eyebrow there, and I was like, And she was like, what? And I was like, girl, I can't wear red lipstick. And she was like, why? I said, because I'm too dark. I'm too black. I can't wear red lipstick. And I'm slowing down talking like this because that's how she was looking at me like, are you for real? Like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, nah, I'm being straight 100 with you. No 52 here. No cap. It's the younger kids would say. But I was like, nah, that's just not my style. That's not my flavor. I'm not gonna look good with it. So I just shy away from red, period, because I just don't think that I look good with it because it doesn't go well with my skin tone, or I should say it does not complement my skin tone well. As you can see, that was a bold-faced lie. But again, I was holding on to what this individual had told me, that I could not wear red lipstick. And I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, that started a lot of issues that I had with myself growing up. I had a very low self-esteem. I had no confidence, none whatsoever. Again, I did not think I looked good. I did not think that anybody wanted me because of the way I looked. And for the longest, I just thought being a chocolate girl, brown skin girl, depends upon who you're asking, I just thought that was a death sentence. I really did. I hated myself growing up. I was like, Lord, why in the world could you have not given me any other shade other than the shade that you have given me? Why can't I just be a tad bit lighter? I don't know, like, why did you create me this way? Whatnot. And, like I said, it just kept me down for a very long time. And I for the longest, I could not seem to get up from the ground where I was, and I didn't think I was ever going to get up. I just, like I said, I thought it was a death sentence, and ultimately it was the end of my life. Obviously, it was not, but like I said, hearing that at the age of 14, and, taking it on, coupled with all the other stuff that I was already having going on in my life, in the school at that time, it was a recipe for disaster. And so, like I said, I just could not accept compliments when people gave them to me because I did not believe them. I always thought that they were lying to me, or I would always say, what you want? Because that's the only real reason why you're trying to like butter me up, or give me these outpours of compliments, because surely it's something behind this. You have a motive for this. You want something. But I just could not accept somebody saying, oh, you're a beautiful young lady. And I could not accept it because I didn't accept it. I didn't believe it. And like I said, that was my truth. Her truth was my truth for 10 years. And like I said, until God sent this classmate, and she, told me how beautiful or pretty I would look with that red lipstick. I would say probably about 4 days later, this young lady showed back up to class. She's like, hey, I got that lipstick I was telling you about. And I'm like, cool. I hope you gonna wear it because I'm not. And she was like, no, really, this is a gift for you. I bought this lipstick for you because I really, truly feel and believe that you will look really, really good with this lipstick. And I'm not gonna lie, when I put the lipstick on, I was like, oh my God, I look like I like a clown. I look like an ape, a monkey with red lipstick on. Because in the back of my mind, I had this picture, this image that I had painted, or I should say that my neighbor had painted of me, aka the family friend had painted of me. So I just really felt like that's what I looked like, when ultimately I did not look like an animal. I don't resemble an animal, even though I've had family members to say some pretty harsh things to me coming up, especially when we get in an argument. Their defense mechanism, the first thing they want to say to hurt me, because they knew it hurt me because I had an issue with my complexion coming up, is da-da-da-da-da with your black ass, da-da-da-da-da with your ugly black ass, whatnot. And, I put on the front and acted as if it did not bother me or affect me, none whatsoever. But deep down on the side, I was crying. I was dying. I was wishing I was dead, whatnot. And like I said, all because of this right here. Because I did not appreciate this, I did not value this, and I did not think that this was worthy. And to make matters even worse, it was extremely difficult with guys, trying to meet guys, and date and whatnot as I got older, because the first thing I kept saying is, they're not gonna like me because I'm dark skinned, they're not gonna like me whatever I'm brown skin, whatever the case may be, like I said, I'm already stout, heavy set, and I feel like there was one strike I had against me, and I'm like now coupled with being a brown skinned girl, like they really not gonna like me because I'm not that flavor. Light skin is what's in. The exotic women, that's what's in. The pretty eyed women, that's what's in. The shapely women, like that's what's in. But I never thought that this was in. Brown was in. Whatnot. But like I say, as I got older, I realized, the guys that truly had an interest in me, they never paid attention to my skin shade, was my other attributes that I had that made them ultimately like me. But I will go back and I would say this. When I was a sophomore at the college that I attended, where I got my bachelor's and my master's degree, I will never forget, and I actually documented this in my first book, Glitter But No Gold, How I Turned My Wounds Into Wisdom. I actually entitled one of my chapters Red Lipstick, and it gives you the full background and the story about how all of this came about. But I remember I was getting on the elevator, and this young man was already on the elevator, and he said to me, you cute to be dark. What? Is what I wanted to say to him. But I was like, I'm not following you. He was like, you cute to be a dark girl. Because he was like, most dark skinned girls, I know they ugly. And he was like, and they ugly as hell. And I was like, oh wow, this is just not making things for me any better. And to be totally honest, I was like, is this a backhanded compliment or is this an insult? And to be totally honest, it was exactly what I thought it was, which was the latter. It was definitely an insult. Completely an insult. An insult from a stupid person. In hindsight, looking back then, it was totally stupid what he said, whatnot, because how can your skin tone make you attractive or unattractive, which is so sad to say. A lot of people still feel that way, especially within the African American community. People have a tendency, or society, I should say, have a tendency of pitting African American women against each other. It's always been the light skin versus the dark skin controversy. Which is better? Who looks the best? Who are more inclined to get things or have things work in their favor because of their skin tone? Who can get the men because of their skin tone? Who can get what they want because they are light skinned? And I just thought that was the stupidest thing, the damnest thing, the most unheard of thing, and I thought it was so unfair, because I was like, my thing is this: if I have all of these qualities that I have, and my light-skinned sister, not actual sister, but a phrase that we use within the African American community, but my light-skinned sister, on one hand, she does not even, she can't even compete with me, she can't even compare with me, but she's preferred because she's light skinned and I am dark skinned. And it hurts so bad because I wanted to be preferred. I mean, to be totally honest, who would not want to be preferred? Whatnot. But like I said, that was my life, and that was something that I had to deal with. And like I said, as I had gotten older, whatnot, it started to not affect me as much. I mean, I would still have my bouts with it, whatnot. When things would arise where people would say to me, yeah, it would hurt my feelings, but it didn't hurt my feelings as much because I was starting to like the woman. No, I was starting to love the woman that I had become. So I just was Ray Charles and Helen Keller to the what's shit. And I just tried my best to go on with my life without letting any of it affect me. And ultimately, that's what I did until I would say probably about my early, my early 30s, whatnot. I just, whatever reason, it was like a snowball effect. Everything was just, happening all at once. And I just kind of went back down in that rut again, whatnot, of not loving myself, not appreciating myself, and not thinking that I held any value or worth, whatnot. And like I said again, I'm so thankful to God, whatnot, because He has brought me a mighty long way. And again, I'm very vocal, and I'm a huge proponent of therapy. Although I know a lot of people may say, hey, it's not my speed, whatnot, and to each his own. But I will say this, it helped me out. It's helped millions of people out, whatnot. And, because you only so much you can really go to and tell your family or friends, because at some point you're going to need a professional to step in, to pick up the slack that they have, whatnot. So like I said, that just worked wonders for me. And then, I've had people in my corner, to quote unquote praise me and say, oh, you look so good. It doesn't matter, your size. It doesn't matter, your skin tone. All that matters is just what's on the inside. And you would think that would be the case, but it's so sad because today's age, a lot of people, particularly guys, not all of them, but a lot of guys, they don't care about what's on the inside. They're looking at your physical attributes. But my thing is this, after a while, those looks are going to fade. So what are you going to have then? Even if it was about good sex, whatever the case may be that they're offering, I always say, hey, at some point, you got to come up out the bedroom. So when you're out from behind closed doors, what do you have to offer then? Because if what's behind the doors is all that you have to offer, then let's be totally honest, you don't have shit to offer. And we just going to keep it 1,000. You have nothing to offer. Nothing but a pretty face, a small waist, and that's pretty much it. So, what is it that you're able to bring to the table? What is it that you can bring that will benefit not only you, but this person as well? But hey, like I said, to each his own. I don't ever down anybody, for their preference, whatnot, because I have mine. Skin tone is definitely not, it has nothing to do with, it's really how the person treats me. That's one of the main things, how this person treats me, whatnot. What are their goals, long term, short goal, do they anticipate having a family? Because I know that's, a huge desire of mine to be a wife first and then a mother. Not knocking anybody, but it's just my course of how I want to do things. I prefer to be wed first and then have my children, whatnot. But like I said, I don't knock anyone, for their preference. But my thing is this, it's okay to have your preference. But at the same time, don't tear other women down or make us feel less than what we are, all because you prefer a certain flavor, skin tone, complexion, or whatnot, or race. I would like to say, whatnot, because like I said, you have so many kids that are coming up now, and it's such a shame. So many kids are coming up now, being taught that light skin is better, white is better. And it's not, because no race or no skin tone is more superior than, the other or whatnot. But you have kids coming from homes like this, or you have kids whose families, parents specifically, because, the parents are the first teachers, whatnot. But the parents are not telling them that they're beautiful, not telling them that they value them, not telling them or explaining to them the importance of self-worth, having a high self-esteem, being confident, in the person that you are, regardless of your imperfections or, your skin color, whatnot. They're just not being taught this. If anything, they're being taught what's the quickest way to get $1, okay? Which guys to go after, the ones with all the money, how you can get somebody that can support you, and all of that is good and fine and dandy if that is what you want. But my thing is this, one of the most important things that I'm going to do with my children, Lord, I want those identical twins girls, but the thing that I'm going to be able to tell my daughters, regardless of what their skin shade is that first and foremost, to always respect yourself, always love yourself, always hold yourself in high regards, always appreciate yourself, and whatever you do, do not demean yourself, and don't let anybody else demean you either. Don't ever fit the description of what someone says you should be, because in the end, ultimately, you're not gonna like the person you've become. And one thing I will say, I do love the wonderful woman that I have become today. It's a lot of hard work went behind this, a lot of tears, a lot of throwing in a white flag, a lot of quitting, You know, a lot of wanting to end it all, but I'm glad that I survived that. You know, whatnot. Like I said, do I still have the scars? Yes. They're not physical anymore. They're more so emotional scars because of, like I said, what I went through. And that was a part of my life growing up. And like I said, into my 20s and then, you know, my early 30s, you know, whatnot. I just let it affect me. And I really hate that I did. But then again, you know, like I say, it's all a part of life. It's all a part of growing up. And it's all a part of me realizing my worth and who I am and not allowing somebody else's opinions or thought of me to shape mine. How they feel is completely how they feel, as long as I don't feel that way about myself. Because think about it. If you already feel that way about yourself and then somebody else is coming to you basically doing the same thing that you said that you are doing, then hey, listen, you're just in a no-win situation, basically. You lose-lose situation. And I don't want that to be your life for you as it was for me. I just don't, because it's sad that you consume so much of your time trying to change this, your appearance. Your can't really change your skin color unless you bleach it, which is so awful. But you don't have the time that you need to focus on yourself and truly loving yourself and walking in your will and purpose that God has for your life, because you're too busy trying to please and appease other people. You're trying to be won over. You're trying to be accepted. And my thing is this: if somebody cannot accept you for who you are and what you are, then that person needs not to be in your life at all, none whatsoever, because they're only going to bring you down. You're only going to bring yourself down by trying to live up to their standards and what they think of you and how they think that you should look and the person that you should be. Like I said, you need to be comfortable in your own skin, regardless of you're black or white, regardless if you're tall or short, regardless if you're stout, petite, you know, thin, whatever the case may be. It does not matter what your physical attributes are. The only thing that truly matters is you need to be happy with who you are. Because at the end of the day, when you go home, unless you have a significant other, but when you go home, when you look in the mirror, the only person that you're going to see is yourself. And you have to be happy, you have to be accepting, and you have to be loving of the person that you see. Because if you do not love yourself, like the age-old expression say, how do you expect anybody else to love you? So, like I say, it's unfortunate what I went through in my life, but hey, it had to happen in order for it to make me a better person, and in order for me to be able to share my story, you know, in hopes of helping someone else and inspiring them. So as I say, it does not matter what flavor you are, skin color, it does not. Only thing that matters is how you feel about you and how you perceive yourself. You know, like I always tell my students when I talk to them, you know, my young ladies at this, when we've had these conversations, you are created in the likeness and the image of God. So that alone should tell you that you are gorgeous and beautiful, because He made you, and He made you just the way He wanted you to be. If He wanted you to be fair-skinned, you would be fair-skinned. If He wanted you to be thin, you would be thin. But He made you exactly who you are. And guess what? Deidre, He made you exactly who you are. The black, beautiful, gorgeous Nubian queen that you see today, and that I see today, and that I love today. So, again, never change yourself to fit the description of what anyone says you to be, because in the end, you're not going to like the woman or man that you have become. As always, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, my note takers, class dismissed.